everybody, it's me, Ashley Brooke, and I wanted to come on here real fast because I wanted to share some information with you guys. I don't know, like it might help you guys. So everybody, well, you guys know already, I'm autistic, and I'm 38 years old. And for those of you who don't know, I was nonverbal till I was 7, and then I stopped talking again from 10 to 11. And there's other, there's so many questions. I'm sure everyone's like thinking, like, because I stopped talking again from 10 to 11. And I wondered about that too myself before, because I remember that I shut down. I didn't know in my head, like at that time, that I had stopped talking. I felt more like, I remember it as just being very unsure of myself. See, when I didn't talk until I was 7, I always felt like in my head, I thought it was that I was shy. Like that's what my emotional part of it, like that's what the emotional part of me gathered, was that I was shy. When I stopped 10 to 11, I remember it was my processing and my emotional part, aspect of it, is I remember it feeling like I was very unsure. Very unsure of how the person was going to respond to me, or if they were going to be pleased with what I like the way that I responded to them. You know, how when they'd ask me questions or they'd try to tell me to do something. I remember, not being sure if I was gonna respond correctly, and I was also scared, like nervous. I wouldn't say like scared, like oh my god they're gonna hurt me, but I was nervous on how are they going to, like, what was it gonna feel like for me once I got, their response from my response, if that makes any sense, you know what I'm saying? And it just made me be like a ping pong ball, like, and then I would just be like, and no one ever really pulled me back out of my, little, shell. So I would just, the time would just pass me by. And also no one really understood my autism, and because no one understood it and nobody talked about it in front of me, it made me feel really unsure of myself, like I think there's something very empowering in knowing that you are autistic and you are different. I know that this sounds weird for some people, but as an autistic person, I feel like it would have been much more comforting to know that, wait, what I'm feeling, and the way people are responding, what there's a reason behind it, and that it's just that there's differences. That would have made more sense to me than just feeling like nobody knows what's wrong with you, not even you. That was more like, oh my god, am I crazy? Like, oh my god, I'm very unsure of because the way I was acting, the way my heart felt was very happy, and then the response would come back differently, and I was like, wait, I must not have done that right. Wait, what's happening? Am I getting this right? Am I interpreting my environment right, or am I wrong at that too? And it made me feel more unsure of myself, and I believe that that's why I stopped talking again from 10 to 11. So we'll put that little bit of information aside. I'm just brainstorming, sorting this out with you guys. Hopefully my experiences can help you. And excuse me if I'm either blinking a lot or if I'm making weird expressions, but that's how I've learned to talk effectively and to express myself thoroughly. So that's, just put that aside, okay? And this is gonna sound maybe funny to you guys, or maybe it'll make perfect sense. But okay, so when I was younger, I would watch certain movies like that my family was watching, and I never had an attention span for movies. Like, honestly, growing up, I was not a movie watcher at all, and I was really like very literal and very like picky on even the music that was playing, because I'd be like, oh, that doesn't sound healthy, or oh, that's bad what they're saying, like I was very like, that's bad and that's good, and very like, very picky on how, like, what was good and what was bad. I lived in a very like black and white world, when I was younger. I still kind of do, but I learned to blend and understand that people are different than that, and I can't just base everything off of good and bad, because life is more complicated than that these days, apparently. It's not a perfect world, and that's just kind of like the autistic mind, very like yes, no, right, wrong, so that being said, I feel like, okay, I used to watch these movies. The only movies that caught my attention growing up, okay, I don't like scary movies. To this day, I don't like scary movies. I don't like suspenseful movies. I don't like love stories. I cannot do it. It's like, not that I'm hating on it. I just like, my attention span is just like it doesn't make sense. That's not real. That's just how my brain is. The only thing that ever made sense to me was like comedy, and not just any comedy. It had to be like obvious comedy, like maybe like slapstick comedy. Like, it was like, okay, that's supposed to be silly. That's supposed to not, add up. That's just goofy, And so, as a child, I was a big fan of Jim Carrey and Robin Williams. And I never knew why until later on I found out that they are also on the spectrum. And I'm thinking that I learned how to communicate more because of the way that they were very dramatic in their acting. And they're kind of like, their facial expressions are like very, like, they're very cartoonish, And I think watching those movies kind of made me feel like maybe I can do that. And also, when he would do certain things, like the alrighty then type thing, and like, what I'm saying, like the very dramatic, and where his mouth is moving and pronunciating a lot. Joking as a child, trying to do those things when my parents would leave, I'd do them in the mirror. I feel that pronunciating, like exaggerating my pronunciations also helped me a lot when I first started talking. And I think I still kind of do it sometimes today when I'm trying to really express or dig deep. I notice that I do that also. If I can, like, you can take anything from everything that I just said right now, I would say, like, find the Jim Carrey in you when you're with your kids that are autistic. A lot of times we need to be pulled out of our shell, and a lot of times we need to know that it's safe and it's okay to not be correct all the time, and just, to smile and have fun. Reassuring your child with smiling, high-tone voices, very expressive with your body language, like I'm gonna try to do my best, but I'm not an actor, so, bear with me. But, okay, so I think I like those actors because they kind of like went into your world and talked to you, like they would talk, and they would kind of like get you, out of your shell, and the happy, bubbly, silly, and also different voices. I know it sounds weird, but when you're with your kids, if they're nonverbal especially, or if you have trouble getting them to participate in like pretend playing things, change your voices, do different characters, read them books. I used to read this book to my son, Ozzy, called, oh my god, it's a great book. It's called Roderick, I think it's Roderick's Sleepy Pal. and I would change the voice for the little sleepy pal, little animal guy. When I read the book, I would do each character with a different voice, and I would do them really high, and like what would I do? I would be like, nobody wants to play with me. Like, I know it's really creepy and weird for an adult watching this, and my son's laughing over there in the corner right now. See, he likes it. You know? And even to this day, I don't know why, but I don't know if you guys ever watch any of my videos, but when I'm engaging my kids, I have a different voice for my kids. It's really creepy. I'm pretty sure there are some parents that do it too, but like, I have this little, I'm gonna try to do it right now. I feel like weird. I never show this in front of people at all. I'm super weird. Okay, so I'm gonna show you. I'm so embarrassed, and like no one's even watching this yet. Okay. I'm gonna try. It's so weird. It's so weird to like reveal my mask. Oh my god, here we go. Okay. It's usually like when I'm telling him something. Dude! Donnie, what are you doing? Dude, you left food all over the floor, man. Hey! I always be like, and then and my eyes were bugging at him, and like, it's just really goofy and over the top, kind of like Find the Jim Carrey in You, honestly. My son's smiling over there right now. Okay, so I'll come play the video game with you right now, Ozzy, okay? I know it's super weird. I'm even embarrassed to post this video, but I'm gonna do it because I know that it really helps, so yeah. So, anyways, voices, okay? Watch Miss Doubtfire. Watch Bird. Bird was called Birdcage. I had to spell the gay voice, but it's just like, check out how they can change their voices and personalities and be silly. How many times we're able to do it. Now, throughout this week when you're playing with your kids, if they're not participating or doing something, be very dramatic, like child, like play with them. It's like playing, but at the same time giving them orders. Like, I'll go to Ozzy and be like, hey dude, pick up your man. Come on, dude, ooey. And he'd be like, what the hell? Like, and usually you tell autistic kid to go do something, like, especially, I know when I was little, they told me to do something, I'd be like, I didn't know how to take that. I was like, wait, are you mad at me? But I feel like what it is like a reassuring, but at the same time, instructions, and I think it kind of takes the anxiety off of, like, I don't know, like participating or trying, I mean, taking away that anxiety of, am I doing it right? It like gives them an opportunity, like a, not an opportunity, it gives them like a more easy way of, like, you know, coming into that situation and trying to do it. It's like, it takes a little bit of the stress away, I would say, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, though, try it because I know one thing for sure. I mean, I'm autistic, and I believe that helped me, like, really. And I remember when I didn't speak, and I remember exactly how it felt. And I know that the second time, it felt more like an anxiety, like a pressure and, you know, fear of not doing it right. There's fear involved, you know, and that's never good. So you're gonna want to, like, lighten the mood, you know. Also, humor is so important. Everybody says autistic people don't have humor. We have humor. We get humor. Yeah. I hate when people say that. It's like, what are you trying to, like, it's so, like, discriminatory. It's like, what are you trying to say, that I have no personality? I honestly, I think that autistic people have the most personality. I mean, like, Jim Carrey is high functioning autistic, okay? They want to say high masking. And I think it's because he learned that skill growing up, you know? He learned, for whatever reason, he said that his mother was very sick and he wanted to make her happy. See, they also say autistic people don't have compassion. My mother was wheelchair bound, and that pushed me out of my comfort zone, and that made me go and try to do things that I didn't think I can do. So definitely the love for your mother, you know, I mentioned this earlier on the autism mom support. You know, I'm on there. They asked me to be an admin. I was like, wow, that's really nice. That's because I'm autistic and my kids are autistic, and sometimes when I try to communicate with mothers with autistic kids, they're not that welcoming. So thank you, Autism Mom Support, for accepting me. That meant a lot to me. So yeah, I was just saying on there that, nothing is more powerful than a mother's love, I mean, that even goes back to the Bible, you know what I'm saying? And, oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm a Christian, so I can't help but shoot out Bible sometimes. So yeah, it's very true though. I think a nice, playful, bubbly mother is very important for an autistic child, any child really, but it's that extra support that I think that autistic children need, and also to feel useful. Like, so if you have your child and they're like, be playful and be like, oh please, but I tell Ozzy all the time, Ozzy, help me. I can be a baby too. Mommies can be babies. Sure. Why not? And I tell him, I'm your baby. and then he'll get up and do things for me. It's so cute. Or I'll tell him, I'll play with him and be like, and it's also teaching him how to respond to people with emotions. There's a video that I posted recently, and it's of, we're at the park, and I keep trying to call Ozzy to come down so I can help him onto the swing. And he won't come, right? He doesn't want to listen to doing him. And then when I tell him, Ozzy, I'm gonna cry, please, he comes running. I can pretend cry at any moment, and he'll come running to me, to help me and do whatever I say. It's super cute. And some people will be like, oh, what are you manipulating your child? Like, no, dude, I'm teaching him how to respond to, emotions, people with emotions. You don't want him to have a girlfriend one day and she starts crying, he's just like, all right, see you later. Or he goes and grabs her sandwich out of her hand, it's good that children know how to respond to, appropriately, especially a man, I feel like, because one day if you want them to have a wife, you want them to, reach that and have a family, he's gonna need to know how to respond to a female, emotions. So I always train him here and there, lightly, little, appropriate for his age, of course, but, yeah. Don't want to give them too much that they can't handle, but it's good to be playful and do little be playful, pretend, a lot, pretend you're characters, pretend you're somebody, we were playing doctor earlier. And yeah, the more my page gets bigger, my YouTube gets bigger, then I'll start to do the live when you actually see me engaging and being this goofy to give you a real visual of what I'm talking about. But I hope that you hear me in the background? Yay! He has such a contagious laugh. I love my son. My daughter too. Little cute pie honey buns. Okay, all right, you guys. I hope that helped. And once again, shout out to Autism Mom Support. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. I'm not coming on here, just for the record, real fast, little PS, I'm not coming on here to act like I'm some, I don't know, some psychologist or some autistic god or something. I'm really, and I'm not on here for money, that's for sure. I don't like vanity, I'm against it, but I'm on here because I know how difficult it was for me struggling growing up as a child, and for most of my youth, and even my young adulthood, I felt nobody liked me, and I didn't understand what was wrong with me, and I was just and then in a lot of my years, I hid my autism from everybody. I didn't want anybody to know, and I don't think that any child, imagine how much farther in life I'd be if I didn't have all that shame, all that uncertainty, and lack of acceptance, you know, and not just from people, but from me accepting myself, you know. So I think it's really important for self-esteem with anybody, you know, and that includes autistics. Definitely just want to help autistic children find themselves and you know, and see that they are, you know, needed, really, like, needed for sure. Because I just think that autistic people have a different, you know, we're like another ingredient to a bomb recipe, you know. It's just like, I feel like neurotypicals bring a lot to the table, but autistic people, like, we're major, like, you know, innovative thinkers, you know. And I just think that, you know, combined, like, we can really, you know, make some good change in the world, you know. But I feel like there's a big barrier, there's a big wall between neurotypicals and autistic people, like, and I feel it too, because I get a lot of neurotypicals that don't understand my autism and they're mean to me, and then I get some that are nice and they think that I'm unusual. They're always like, you're interesting, which is better than, you know, calling me the R word, you know. So I like the nice ones that don't call me that. I'd rather be called interesting. And I like that. It's okay. Like, interesting means, like, you know, I'm different, and like it makes them like, it's a different type of thinking, and that's exactly what we want. We need to be like inspired, like be like, interesting. My whole purpose of this channel is to express and share with the other parents, like, how, you know, just a little insight to an autistic mind, you know. It is very different, you know, and some things figures out that can easily be corrected, and there are certain ways that you have to talk to us, you know, and there's certain, like, our perception can be very off if you know, if we don't, I feel like it can be very off because sometimes people don't know how to talk to us, and we're so literal that we get offended easy. I'm putting myself on blast. Autistic people, we get offended very easily because we're very analytical, and then on top of that, you know, so we're like hardcore, like, linguistics, like head to toe, you know, like, what does the word mean? You know, like, I don't care what you meant to do, what did you do? You know, or like one of those, and then, you know, and then you get neurotypicals saying that we're too sensitive, you know. Crybaby. It's like, what the hell, man? So there can create fast conflict. So I'm trying to, you know, hopefully help other autistic people like myself, you know, so can't we all just get along? You know, and honestly, like, I really want this so badly. I really want autistic adults to come together and, you know, stand up for the autistics that don't speak yet or have trouble expressing themselves, and also, like, you know, dedicate some time to, like, reaching out and meeting younger autistic children that, you know, may need some of that, you know, support, you know, like to hear another adult autistic, you know, that has overcome those challenges, that has found their confidence, has found their purpose, that has realized that they are intelligent, realized that they have something to offer, you know, and you know, to realize that, you know, that they are worth, you know, loving, and worth, you know, being a friend, you know. So I really would want autistic people to find their confidence, and I think that it's going to take, you know, older autistic people to help support and, you know, guide and kind of mentor these younger autistic children. I think that strongly, and you know, that's just my opinion. And so if you guys disagree, well, you know, like maybe like a little, what's it called? Little, you know what they call it? Little brother? You know, is it called Big Brother? I forget, but there's a program like that, right? Where you have like, you know, like adolescent, like youth, and they have them, or just like some youth that doesn't have much family support, and they have like the, what's it, the YMCA or something like that, and they have like Big Brother program or something. Well, they should have that for autistics, honestly. Like, it would be very, like, I could have benefited from that really when I was younger, and nobody. It was sad. I left them at 12. So yeah, just shouting out my purpose of making this channel, and it's also to dig a little deeper and, you know, understand my own autism and support my children as well, and also to keep me going hard and going strong at it, because I don't want to be like overwhelmed by life or financial struggles and just be like, oh, it's just too much, and then my kids are in the corner not understanding what's going on. I want to make sure that I'm on my toes, you know. And so it's like when somebody like works out and they don't want to like break their diet, so they record everything they eat and they mark it on the calendar the days that they worked out. Well, that's what I'm doing here with this YouTube channel. I'm making sure that I am the most I can be for my children, and I'm not going to use my autism as an excuse to not. And I hope that this motivates other parents out there, you know. We're going to overcome these challenges, we're going to overcome these barriers, and you know, we're gonna you know, change the whole stereotype that was so that has been so incorrect for so many years, so that we can have some opportunity and break this social stigma. There's not a damn thing wrong with us, you know. And bullying, it's like, I would like for every autistic kid, if I can have my, you know, prayers come true, I would love to see every autistic kid and every autistic adult be like, yeah, I'm autistic. What's up? What's good? You know, I just want them to have that confidence. Like, it took me so many years to get that confidence, you know. And I hope that we can reach that one day. Hopefully, we get enough support from everybody, you know, and enough of our own autistic fellows, you know, coming together and standing strong, you know. So yeah. Anyways. That was a little serious after my whole topic of comedy and humor. Yeah, but I just wanted to let you guys know how serious this is to me, how important this is to me. I definitely am doing this out of the love of my heart, you know. I believe that it's God's work, you know, and it's my purpose. It's like, it's hard for us autistic people, you know, to find, you know, where they belong and to find their purpose. And I feel that this is my purpose, honestly, you know. People, you know, how do you measure success? You know, everyone always be like, oh, I want to be successful. It's like, okay, well, money doesn't make somebody successful. You know, tangible things doesn't make somebody successful. You know, purpose does. And I believe this is my purpose. Yeah, real talk. So yeah, I definitely feel that God's directed me into this. Like, I didn't choose this. It just sort of like unfolded on its own. So I have faith that it's gonna do really well, and I have faith that I'm gonna, you know, what I have to say. I feel like God, you know, gave me my voice for a reason. I never thought that before. I stayed real quiet because I was like, oh my God, I'm so unsure. But it's like, no, God gave me a voice for a reason. I'm gonna speak. My mom used to always say, you're making up for lost time. That she's so telling. When I started finally talking, she was like, oh my God, I wish you would have never started. I'm like, you're a jerk, Mom. She was joking, but I'm just very expressive. Can't help it. My baby needs me. See you guys later.